Alright people, so this was revealed last night and we need to jump straight into it. You feel me? So this figure, I'm not even gonna cap. It looks great. I'm gonna swipe through the pictures real quick so y'all can see it. We're gonna go through the details, release. So let's just get into that. Scheduled release November 2023, and the price 7,150 yen. You can translate that to whatever currency you use. And the pre-orders open for this guy on June 1st. So if you're on your Hobby Genki, go to Hobby Genki. On June 1st, you'll pre-order that. But here's a little tip. You might want to get there June 1st in Japan time, not whatever time that you're in. Just a little tip. But with that being said, this figure looks great. Actually, what I want to do next, we're gonna go to the official website and see if we could grab a couple more details on, what's up with the figure. Alright, so we on the site, official site. A new masterpiece is born from the latest technology. S.h.Figuarts Goku-legendary Super Saiyan. Okay, so is this information important? S.h.Figuarts from the end of the Frieza arc is joining the S.h.Figuarts lineup. Check out his battle damage look with the top half of his martial arts outfit torn asunder. So dramatic. And somebody said this in the little post that I made earlier when I was just showing that this was revealed. And they said it looked like the SS4 upper body. Now there's a clip I'm going to show a little bit later that may debunk that. But I could see why one would say that. Like they just took the fur texture off and they made it a naked upper body. This is basically them hyping it up. Okay, here's some decent information. Telling us release dates, whatnot. Age 15. Main body, 3 optional expressions, 5 pairs of optional hand parts, optional front hairpiece. Because when we swiped through the pictures, we saw that he had the thing, the bangs where he only had 1 bang down. Optional head part, Kamehameha effect part. Alright, so, it's decent. And I think the best thing about this is that it's going to be a general release. But when they mention all new technology, I wanna go into that. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let a clip play, and then we're gonna basically get into the body types thing, kind of like how I did the beginner's guide to the body types with the 3.0, 2.0, 1.0 body types. We're gonna go a little into that because this is very important. But before we even go there, because I just remembered something. Basically, this figure confirms full power 100% Frieza coming, because they're not going to give us this figure with no 100% Frieza to be released. So what that basically tells us is that we have 2 Frieza figures on the horizon, and by 2 I do include Mecha Frieza in there. Of course, we could go further than Mecha Frieza if you catch my drift. You've been keeping up with the manga, but that's a ways off. Sorry for the background noise. We got 2 Frieza figures coming, and that should round out the Namek arc. Okay, King Cold. And of course, if you want some of the fodders like Hui and, of course, Namek Saga Vegeta, that you would include those as well. But, so there's still a little bit of Namek stuff to be released. But for the most part, next year is going to be all Android releases. Either way, with that being said, let's get into the next segment, because I think this is very interesting. I'm going to play a clip.
It's a brand new Dragon Ball Z S.h.Figuarts, and it looks absolutely amazing. While I can't say what it is, you're going to have to wait for another 50 minutes. I will let you know that this is a completely new figure in terms of that the modeling is completely done from the ground up. It's very, very well done. It looks amazing. I'm sure you guys are really going to enjoy that. So I see a lot of people throw around terms on the web. You guys talk about maybe 2.0 body, 3.0 body. There's actually no official term for any of that. We're always constantly trying to improve our figures and make them better with every release, so there's always a little update. But if you were going to give this a number, I am looking at a 4.0. That's not official, that's just how improved the figure is. So again, I really hope you guys look forward to that. That's going to be available for you guys to see in just a short.
So, with that being said, y'all saw the clip, right? So y'all saw him talk about, so first thing I want to say is that this shows that Tamashii is lurking on the internet, wherever that may be, whether it's in the Reddit forums, on YouTube, on Instagram. They are lurking and they are aware of the terms that we've come up with, like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. And in the video, you hear him say, if he could classify it, it would be a 4.0 mold. Now, the reason why I think that's important, and we're going to go through the molds real quick, not all of them, but from 3.0 onward. The reason why I find that very important is because, with that being said, we got to 4.0 way faster than I thought we would. I thought it was going to be years before we got to a 4.0 or whatever. But it makes sense. And I'm going to tell you why it makes sense that we've advanced this far, this fast. Or not this far, but as you can see, we're advancing. These implements are happening faster than how they used to, because we were using the 2.0 mold for a while. That 2.0 style of joints for a while. And now we barely stayed on what we see on the screen with Super Saiyan 4 and Ultimate Gohan. We barely stayed with these type of hips. Now they more or less all work the same, what I'm about to discuss, or at least up to the 3.5, which we're gonna show next. But we barely, not many figures use the hips that Super Saiyan 4 and Ultimate Gohan used. Besides these two, who else used it? Maybe we could say SS4 Vegeta used these hips. Jiren used these hips. Or this style of hips is designed for the hips. But other than that, everything else is like a 3.5 or a 4.0. Now, let's just move forward. So this is what I classify personally as a 3.5 mold. The 3.5 mold isn't really technically a thing, but I think it's a little different enough in the 3.0 that I could classify it as such. Usually the way I classify it is by looking at the hips or the crotch area, how the articulation looks in that area. As you can see, for both Trunks and Orange Piccolo, even though it is slightly different, they both have that kind of thigh lip kind of cut where I don't know why they designed it that way, but when we move forward to the 4.0, we can see that they're slowly trying to basically get rid of that and phase it out. And in the video, you heard him say, listen, we don't classify our body molds because with each figure we're trying to, improve. And I understand with that logic, you wouldn't necessarily need to, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, because it's all, you're doing so many improvements that it's like, all right, whatever, But, that argument, I don't know. I was going to say that argument would be kind of moot when it comes to like a phone, but phone is a little bit different. Either way, and by phone, I mean like iPhone 14, 15, or whatever, when they have the different numbers. Either way, with this, you can see the hip thing, articulation, or the hip cut comes up further on the leg. And also, I'm going to include this with a 3.5. 3.5 figures, I guess you could technically say, or a part of 3.5 technology is the new, not new, but having the kind of soft goods rubbery gi material. And from my man Cyrus, like, he said that the soft goods gi, they used this on the Street Fighter figures when they were doing them at the time, and that his still holds up to this day. So if they're still using the same materials and whatnot, y'all should be golden. You should be good money. So with that being said, we're gonna move forward to 4.0 or 4.0 tech, as I'm deeming it. and the guy in the video, of course. So 4.0 tech, right? As you can see with 4.0 tech, as we're gonna call it, we can see that the gap between the thigh cut and the crotch gets smaller and smaller with all of these advancements. Sorry for the background noise if y'all heard that, but I'm gonna talk up, try to talk louder. The thigh cut, this gap between the thigh cut and the crotch, it gets smaller and smaller with each advancement. And with that being said, something I wanted to point out, in the predictions of what this figure could be before we got it revealed, I saw a bunch of different comments on Instagram and everything, but Flox, he has some pretty cool art on his Instagram. You should check him out. Maybe I'll link it in the description. But Flox, he predicted a full power Super Saiyan Goku 3.0 version. Well, I'd like to piggyback off that. Maybe I'll put the comment up in the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But the reason why I want to piggyback off of that is specifically because when he said that, I was like, nah, not happening. But after this, they released, so think about this, guys. They released that World Tour exclusive Goku, Warrior Awakening Goku. Well, it's not called Warrior Awakening Goku, but we know it was Warrior Awakening Goku with a different color scheme, basically. Because they did that Goku, that was on, because that's still Namek Super Saiyan Goku. I didn't think they would do this, but they went ahead and did this, and then they gave him what is basically an unconfirmed or unofficially confirmed 4.0 mold, because like they said, they don't label the names of their molds or whatever. They don't label it. It's just constant upgrades, as they call it, which is true but not true, because it's not constant upgrades, but they have been pretty frequent, at least in terms of the aesthetic. What I wanted to say about the full power Super Saiyan Goku is that I think it's very plausible now. I wouldn't be surprised. I brought that up to say they kind of double dipped with making this figure. They gave us that World Tour exclusive Goku, which is Namek Super Saiyan Goku, that half-torn shirt, and then they gave us a shirtless version. Now, of course, one is shirtless, one is not, brand new sculpt work and that, but it's still very close to the same thing. You get what I mean? So I wouldn't put it past them to use this new leg and hip articulation and put it onto full power Super Saiyan Goku, the Goku that fought Cell, and give him, the soft goods upper body. That's enough of an upgrade, really. Because now you could say, well, the previous full power Super Saiyan Goku, first of all, not a lot of people really like that figure. The QC on it, I heard, wasn't very good. I haven't reviewed it or had it in hand, but I heard it wasn't that good. So you could technically justify an upgrade. I wouldn't put it past them to double dip like that. Seriously. And I got Cooler here because I think he basically has the same hip, except, of course, Cooler doesn't wear baggy pants. He just got his skin. And speaking of skin and skin tight, I believe that those hips on Cooler, and I said this before, the hips that you see on Cooler, those hips will be implemented into skin tight uniforms. What does that mean? Vegeta, you can expect, on an updated Vegeta, you can expect hips like this, I think. I think it would be smart for them to do it. And the fact that they implemented it on Goku makes me more confident that they actually will go through with it. Now, with that being said, what else? So I'm bringing this picture up. I put this picture up just in case you was having like you didn't really get the difference in aesthetic between a 4.0 and a 3.5, as I'm calling it. Of course, none of this is official. But you can see that, like I said, the gap between that thigh cut and the crotch gets ever smaller and smaller. And also, what I wanted to say is that I think a hypothetical 5.0 would be in the line of Storm Collectibles. So a kind of a soft crotch, and that gap between the thigh cut and the crotch would be completely gone. So you can see what I'm so you can visualize what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put a picture up of the Storm Collectibles Balrog figure on the screen so y'all can understand where I'm coming from. That would be what I would say is a 5.0 in Tamashii terms, hypothetically. We'll see where they actually go with it, because anything could happen. They could go with it any which way that they decide to. But that is what I would consider a hypothetical 5.0 figure. But yeah, I'm very happy about this release. I'm actually, you know, as much as I wanted Yardrat Goku, and I still really want him, I'm very happy with, I'm content with this, you know? This came out very good. But one thing I can say for sure is now that when we get Yardrat Goku, this is probably the legs that he will use. So, with that being said, thank you for watching. You know, I'm always appreciative for everybody that makes it to the end of the video. By the way, if you don't know and you want to, like, oh, I really want to support you, Bombastic, how can I support you? Without donating, of course, if that's the case. If you want to support me, the best thing that you can do is watch the full video. Really, that helps a lot. Trust me, viewer retention helps tremendously. But that, and you know, I can handle the rest in terms of, you know, getting y'all here to watch the video. But staying for the whole video, I'm still not the best at it, but I've definitely gotten way better. Either way, y'all don't care about all that. With that being said, like I said, grateful, everything. Peace out. Okay, so real quick, what I wanted to do is show y'all a 1.0, that's the 1.0 Trunks, and I want you to see the 4.0 Goku. I just want to point out how it's funny that we've kind of come full circle in terms of the joints kind of looking similar. We've gone back to where that cut, that gap in between where the crotch and the thigh cut is basically the same as it was, or close to the same as it was during the 1.0 era. And I found that very interesting, how we've basically going back, you know, we're coming full circle. Also, one more thing. So this next part is kind of unrelated. So what I want to say here is, this is what I would want my definitive Piccolo to look like. Now, the reason why I bring this up is, on the off chance that he somehow gets an Android Saga upgrade, I would like his proportions and his overall look to look like this. Also, of course, in the manga he had 4 fingers. You gotta add the 5 fingers. I don't, whichever way doesn't make me any different. But what I do want to say is that, damn, I forgot what I wanted to say. Yo, I'm bugging out. But basically, my definitive Piccolo will look... Oh yeah, that was the thing I was going to say. Make him, of course, adjust his height. Make him so he's a little bit shorter than Super Boo. Piccolo's a tall guy. Like, the height that he's at now is good enough. Because I guess he's taller than Goku and Gohan and Vegeta by a good margin. But he's supposed to be like almost the same height as Super Boo. I think Super Boo... I remember seeing somewhere Super Boo is 8'2". Piccolo is 7'6". So that's a decent height advantage that even Super Boo has over him. But point being, Piccolo's supposed to be a tall guy. Make him tall. Either way, with that being said, that is the last of it. Peace.